Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you an exhibition game between the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Chinatrust Brothers of the Chinese Professional Baseball League. This game will go off at the Taipei Dome in Taipei City, Taiwan. A little bit disappointing as I look in early on here that the stadium is not packed. Chinatrust Brothers normally on the weekends can get themselves a pretty healthy crowd, but unfortunately, this is a weekday game, and it doesn't appear that they are going to sell out as much as they are. I also try to get the starting lineups right out of the gate, but I have to tell you, it's been rather difficult getting feeds on this particular game here between the Brothers and the Hawks. I know it's exhibition, as they call this, ready for the Classic, and we'll try to get as ready as we can possibly be for you here tonight as soon as we are able to get some of the lineups. But the first pitch is just around the corner. They've done the ceremonial first pitch. Kenji Jojima, the longtime big league catcher, is a executive with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, and he was involved in throwing out the first pitch. And we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. After this, it is our NPB setup, but we are going to be calling the game between the Chinatrust Brothers and Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks when we return in just a couple moments after this musical timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. If you have just joined us, we do have a feed. We are going to be giving you guys the call, and we are just waiting for the two teams to take the field as the ceremonial first pitch has been completed. It is the Chinatrust Brothers and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And as we mentioned before, getting a lineup for this evening's game has been a little bit of a challenge. We haven't been able to pick anything up. Fukuoka is the visiting team here tonight, so it looks like we are going to get ourselves a bit of a lineup. So it looks like it is going to be Nomura, Yanagamachi, Masaki, Kurihara, Yamakawa, Inoue, Imamiya, Tanagawara, and Hirose. Of course, missing a couple of stars from their World Baseball Classic setup, and we'll get that for you here as it goes. There'll have to be some quick jotting down as we said, we haven't been able to get a feed here tonight for that. The starting lineup is going to be Nivaldo Rodriguez, as he will take to the hill, the Venezuelan. And he is on the mound right now completing his tune-up tosses, as we will be ready to get this one underway in just a couple of moments. So Nivaldo Rodriguez on the hill as he is getting his warm-up tosses done, and the Hawks will be coming to bat here shortly. The Chinatrust Brothers, pretty much with their group, they have a lot of import pitchers. I should say a lot. They have a number: Mario Sanchez and Nivaldo Rodriguez, two of them. They have just Humberto Castellanos from Mexico, Jose de la Paula from the Dominican. That is where their allotment of players that are international come from. It is pretty much a domestic lineup. But Rodriguez is ready to take to the hill here to face the Fukuoka Ball Club here in the top of inning number 1. And as we mentioned, leading off tonight for the Hawks, this is going to be Asami Nomura. He swings at the first pitch and he lifts it into straightaway center field. Now drifting over to his right, and there to make the catch for the Brothers is their center fielder, and that is with one pitch, we've got one away. So Nomura in the books for out number 1. What else I expect tonight is that we are going to see a number of substitutions. Usually at this time of the year, they get about 4 or 5 innings in, and then they start going into the bench. So this is going to bring Tatsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. So Yanagamachi batting here. The first pitch taken for a called strike and count as no balls and 1 strike. Yanagamachi had a decent season last year and has proven to be almost a everyday left fielder now at this point for the Hawks, as that fastball misses down and the count runs even to 1-1. For those of you who are stopping in here tonight, we will be trying to catch up with our chat as we move along. We do like to chat with the chat when they are here. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. But as we mentioned, we're trying to get ourselves caught up on everything. Good opportunity to look at this. I haven't seen Chinatrust Brothers was the only team I wasn't able to catch last year in Taipei or in Taiwan. I got to see all of the other teams, and this could be a challenge here tonight, as we're hoping that we are going to get ourselves a feed free of any problems. The feed was a bit of a challenge. Here comes the 1-2 pitch for Yanagamachi as he kicks and delivers. And there's a breaking ball swung on his tap softly in front of the plate. Catcher comes out the field and he fires to first. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 2-3. So Yanagamachi gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it up to Tomoya Masaki, who's getting the start tonight in the 3 holes. So Masaki here. I was mentioning earlier, they're without their key stars. Kensuke Kondo, of course, is with the World Baseball Classic team, as is Yukio Shudo. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Masaki. Masaki batting from the right side here against Rodriguez. Curious to see how far they're going to let Rodriguez go here. Some of the teams last week in the NPB, it was a couple innings and maybe 3. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Masaki. Ryoya Kurihara waiting his turn on deck. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, fastball misses upstairs. It's now gone to 3-0 on Masaki. But they do have other regulars in the lineup. Hatake Yamakawa getting the start tonight. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. As we said, pretty much the top part of the order are the regulars for the Fukuoka Ball Club. Also curious to see if they're going to start Sujo Si, who was the last year, has come over as a big free agent signing in the offseason. He was with the Wei Shuan Dragons last year. Got a chance to see him pitch live. He was very impressive. He inked himself a 3-year deal with the Hawks. He's still quite young. He'll be 27 years old by the time the contract's done. There were major league teams that were looking at him as well. Fastball swung on, lifted foul. It's drifting toward the seats. And it's going to get into the seats on the first base side. Count is now full to Masaki. World-class facility, the Taipei Dome. It's I got a chance last year to see the Dragons and the Monkeys play, and the facility itself is first rate. They play quite a few games there. They've got about 35 games scheduled again this year, neutral site games for the league. Fastball swung on and missed, and Masaki's in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks as they go quietly in their half of the first inning. So for Fukuoka, there was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Hawks, no score. The Brothers coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning when we return after this. Glad you can make it in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Our friend God is Great is in the house, as is our good friend Redbeard Breaks. We'll be back to chat it up with the chat when we return right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. The Chinatrust Brothers are coming to bat here in the bottom half of inning number one, and we'll get you caught up on the lineup here in just a moment. We're getting the numbers down here as it looks like we'll have to do a little bit of catch-up on the backside when they come up, and I can attach the names to the numbers, and that will be how we have to operate here in this one tonight. As we said, we had a hard time getting the lineups prior to this one here. Sometimes on Instagram, they'll post lineups. I didn't check in the last hour. It is going to be Naoyuki Uesawa, who is on the mound here tonight for the Fukuoka Ball Club. So Uesawa, who had a cup of coffee in the big leagues, is getting the start here tonight. So Uesawa ready to go. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses inside to Wei Chen Wang, as he is getting the leadoff assignment here tonight. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses outside. And just the way everything is positioned, it's 2 balls and no strikes here to Wang. As the right-hander kicks and fires again, fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. This ball could be trouble, but moving back and over to make the catch is the left fielder. That is Tomoya Masaki. He's going to haul that in for the first out of the inning. So 1 away here. And as I said, I'm going to have to do some catch-up on the lineups here for these 2 ball clubs. It looks like it is Sung or Chengjui Sung, if my lineup card is correct. And that's exactly who it is. So Chengjui Sung. And if I mess up any of the names, I apologize certainly in advance. So Sung striding to the plate here with 1 gone in the bottom half of inning number 1. Interesting, they have come out, I don't know what's going on. They've come out to wipe off first base. The umpire, or the first base umpire, has asked for the grounds crew to come out. So we have a slight delay here. Our friend God is Great said, is that an MPB team? I thought I knew all the teams. No, it's the Chinese Professional League. This game is in Taipei City in Taiwan. Fastball swung on. This ball is hammered into left field. This ball is going to get down, and it's going to get by the left fielder Masaki all the way to the wall. I'm going to see if they're going to rule that a double. I would think they are. So it would have been a difficult play for him to have to get to knock it down, but it's going to be a double for Sung. So 1 out double, and he is aboard. So our friend God is Great said he thought he was going crazy. Well, if you're really up to speed, there's a 4-team league in China that started off this year. They're playing about a 30-some-odd game schedule. That might be something you might want to look at and tune into. So Zhu Xian Chan coming to the plate. Stepping in on the right side here. So Xian Chan ready to hit. Right-hander against the right-hander. Uesawa holding to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball on the way. Swung on. Grounded over to third. Oh, that's a nice stop. Picks up and fires it over to first. That is going to retire Chan on a ground out 5-3. One thing I haven't got is the defensive alignment for both of these clubs. But it looks like it is Ryoya Kurihara who is holding down the hot corner here tonight. So that will be 2 gone here. And it's going to bring up Chi-Hung Su to the plate. He gets the start at first base this evening. Our friend God is Great says it's a country he's not interested in. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a call or swung on wrist. Count 0-1. The 4 teams in China that they have, there's one based in Shanghai, one in Shenzhen, and I can't remember the other 2 places off the top of my head, but they played about a 30-some-odd game schedule January and February, and it was a bit of a winter league, as I believe that some of the teams like some of the countries like the NPB, the Korean League, the Australian League sent some players to help support it. So that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 0-2 on Sioux. Runner at second base is Sung. There's 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Chinatrust Brothers batting here against the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Uesawa holds to the set. He checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball down. Nice stop there. In the dirt by the catcher of the Hawks. That is Tanegawara. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Sioux. As I mentioned, we'll have to try to keep up the pace. One thing I do like, I can see that's what it was when it was the leadoff hitter. Wong had rounded first base. Remember, we had the stoppage in play when the grounds crew came out. They had to come out and clean off the base. He had hit the base and he went down like a house of cards. It was a little bit on the slick side. There's a fastball missing outside. The count now goes to 2-2 on Sioux. Yuki Uesawa had come back to Japan from his stint in Major League Baseball. He had spent time in the Rays and Red Sox organizations. Fastball misses down. It gets away from Tanegawara up the first baseline. As he scampers after to get it, that's going to advance Sung over to third. It's going to be charged as a wild pitch. It's going to round the count full to Sioux. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Tomorrow night, we'll be back at it again, as it is going to be the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are going to be playing the Chinese Taipei national team, or the Taiwanese national team, at least where a lot of people would come from. There's a breaking ball that gets through the catcher, Tanegawara. Here's the throw to the plate. Covering is the pitcher, Uesawa. The throw is not going to be in time, so back-to-back pitches that get by Tanegawara. And that is going to score the first run of the game, as the Brothers have taken an early 1-0 lead. We'll get a look at the replay again on that. When that pitch was down in the dirt, that would have been ball 4. And off to the races and scoring. The throw was not in time. Sliding in safely is Sung. Sioux goes to first on the base on balls, and that is slated to bring up Chun Siu Chen. And the first pitch on the way to Chen is a fastball that misses up and away. He has got the assignment as the designated hitter tonight in this one. Batting from the right side, he's a big fella. Big forearms, thick legs in the lower half. There is a fastball missing up. Uesawa all over the place here. Now 2 balls and no strikes. That was the knock on Uesawa. He was originally a kind upon ham fighter, took his act overseas over to Major League Baseball. And the big issue for him was that his strike rate needed to improve that. Walked too many hitters. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. It's slicing and giving chase and watching it drift into the seats. It looks like that is number 43 out there for the Hawks. And as we mentioned, trying to get the lineups tonight, a little bit of a challenge, and we're getting caught up as we move along. As by my counts, that's Tomoya Inoue who is in right field tonight. So Uesawa holds at the belt. Here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And now the count runs even to 2-2 on Chen. As I mentioned, you take a couple of big guns out of the lineup and it can cause an impact. I would think the edge still in pitching has to go to the Hawks, depending upon what they've brought with them and who they save for tomorrow night. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined to the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Charging in and picking it up is Masaki. Holding it second is Sioux. So a base hit here by Chen. That's going to put Brothers at first and second with 2 gone. So the Brothers have something brewing here in inning number 1 as they look to continue to add to their early 1-0 lead. Good piece of hitting there by Chen. He really kept his hands inside the ball, stayed inside, hammered it. And Uesawa, who looked like early on, only thrown 5 pitches to the first 3 hitters, has now seen his pitch count ratchet up to 16. So this is going to bring up to the plate Sung En Seng. He is the right fielder tonight in this one. Another one batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Uesawa. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and line foul down the right field line. That was quickly 0-1. And I haven't really seen, as I said last year, I actually wanted to try to go see the Chinatrust Brothers play. They were supposed to be playing the Monkeys. It would have been right around the last weekend in August, first weekend of September. And the game was sold out. There's a breaking ball down. So I had to pivot quickly, get on a train, and went and saw the Fukuoka Guardians playing the Una President Lions in New Taipei City. And what was interesting about that is the Fukuoka Guardians were the visiting team on their home stadium because the Lions had the roof blown off their stadium with one of the typhoons. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-1 on Seng. And they had the stadium all decked out in the orange colors of the Lions, and their home crowd was there, boisterous, and the Fukuoka Guardians were kind of relegated to the outfield seats. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line, giving chase over toward the foul line, and making the catch is Inoue, and that is going to do it as the Brothers are gone here in inning number 1. Well, they get a run in the inning on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score, as we are now through 1 complete, it is the Chinatrust Brothers 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 2nd inning right after this. I appreciate you guys for hopping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We're doing this all on the fly, but it's a lot of fun. Watch some late night baseball from Taipei City in Taiwan. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks coming to bat here in the top half of inning number 2. Leading it off will be the 3rd baseman, Ryoya Kurihara, as he will step in here to face the starting right-hander here tonight for the Chinatrust Brothers and Nivaldo Rodriguez. And the first pitch on the way, taken low for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0. So Nivaldo Rodriguez kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count goes even to 1-1. Right-hander slowly rocks into the windup, and he kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on and fouled away. The count runs to 1-2 on Kurihara. As I mentioned, we'll try to catch you up on everything as we can pick it off here as we go along. Living room sports in the house. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first, fielded neatly by the Chinatrust Brothers first baseman. That is Sue. And he wins the race to the bag, and Kurihara is going to be retired on a ground out to 3 for the first out of inning number 2, and that's going to bring up Potake Yamakawa to the plate. Well, for Yamakawa, he is the designated hitter in this one tonight, as he strides to the plate, ready to face the right-hander Rodriguez. And of course, right on cue would be where we lose the feed for a moment. And the first pitch delivered to Yamakawa is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yamakawa, the home run champion of a couple of years ago in the Pacific League, as that breaking ball misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. He was on the last World Baseball Classic team, but there was a problem with him, and that would be is that he was charged with sexual assault. He was playing for the Saitama Cebu Lions. Missed the entire 2024 season. They unceremoniously traded him to the Hawks for the 2025 campaign. And that is where he played his year. I think it was in 2023. It was after 2023, the Classic. In fact, I don't even know in 2023 how much time he got. I have to go back and take a look if he was still with the Lions at that point. As that breaking ball misses down and away, it's now 2-1. Regardless, when I was in Korozawa, they had basically wiped him right off of all billboards. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and that runs the count full now to Yamakawa. Right-hander Rodriguez getting the sign. He rocks slowly into the motion and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and Yamakawa in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 Hawks up, 2 Hawks down. It's 5 in a row retired by Rodriguez to begin the ball game. Curious tomorrow to see exactly what the Hawks are going to roll out against the Chinese Taipei. That'll be a fun game to watch, and we're going to be back on it again tomorrow for you as well. As the first pitch coming here, there's a fastball swung on it. It breaks the bat of Tomoya Inoue. Grounds it over to second. They throw to first, and that is going to do it. So Inoue gone. He's out for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the inning. Well, they go in order once again. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 2, it is the Chinatrust Brothers won, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. It's a 1-0 scoreline for the Brothers over the Hawks. We're moving to the bottom half of inning number 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back on the call in just a couple of moments right after this important timeout. Welcome back, everybody. The Chinatrust Brothers are coming to bat, and based on what I've seen early here, it looks like that is Nivaldo Rodriguez will be heading to the showers as he got his 2 innings work in. He got the 6 outs he was entrusted to get, and that looks like it is going to be all for him in this one. Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have come back out. They have taken the field, and we're ready to resume the action here in the bottom half of inning number 2. It's going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come up for the Chinatrust Brothers. As we said, we're trying to catch up on the lineups here, but it's going to be Tunghua Ye coming to the plate as he bats from the left side against Uesawa. The first pitch on the way is a fastball that swung through and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. So Tunghua Ye, I can't remember another left-handed hitter for Chinatrust Brothers up to this point, as that fastball swung on his pop down the left field line, giving chaser a flock of Hawks, but it's going to drift into the seats. It's going to run the count now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against the left-hander is Uesawa, kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses down. I really kind of hope that maybe Sports Navi or somebody's able to get us some lineups early on tomorrow. Be a bigger help. I'll have to take a look and see if the Chinese Taipei national team or the Taiwan national team will have their lineups up, as that breaking ball is swung on and grounded foul, and the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. If you ask the folks in Taiwan, it is Taiwan. If internationally they're playing it as Chinese Taipei. I'm not going to get into the politics of that one, but it is a bit eyebrow-raising for sure. Here's the pitch on the way. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to you. Uesawa shaking off his catcher. Now he works to the belt. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. As I said at the outset, I believe that the Hawks, or at least in my opinion, the Hawks would have the edge in the overall pitching. I would think that would be at least the early consensus in this one. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is drilled into right center field. It's got a chance to get down, but no, moving over underneath it is the center fielder tonight, Yanagamachi. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Yu for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and that is going to bring up Yu Chi Kao to the plate. Kao is getting the start behind the dish tonight in this one here. Big fella batting from the right side. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a slow breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kao batting in the 8th spot in the batting order for the Brothers as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Kao. So no balls and 2 strikes. Sal working fairly quickly now. He delivers a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-2. Looked more like a slider that kept on sliding right away from the hitter Kao. Here's the 1-2 pitch. On its way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of reminds me a little bit on a smaller scale of the game we did between Taiwan and Australia a couple of years ago, as there's a changeup missing inside. The count goes to 2-2. A lot of people rolling through the stream. If you're looking for a live feed, you are going to have to do a lot of searching, unfortunately. Not an easy one to get tonight. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and fouled off into the feet of the hitter. Count remains at 2-2. Kind of hoping, as I said, in some ways that Sports Navi or even DAZN might have been able to carry something. It would have been a lot easier to be able to look at. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Kao. Sal delivers, breaking ball swung on, lifted into left center field. Racing over is Yanagamachi. He's calling off the left fielder Masaki. He's there to make the catch. And Cow is going to be retired. Busy inning here for Yanagamachi, as that is his second catch of the inning, and that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter in Zhenwei Chang. Chang, the shortstop, another right-handed stick in the Chinatrust Brothers lineup. Taps in. And a friend of mine who was the manager of the Brothers a few years ago was their pitching coach, became the manager. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded and firing to first, and that is going to retire Chang as he's retired by his opposite number. It's a ground out 6-3 to do it here in inning number 2, and that will be it for the Brothers in their half of inning number 2. They go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are through 2 complete. Your score is the Chinatrust Brothers Baseball Club 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. It's late night baseball or early morning baseball, depending where you're at in North America. It is a 1-0 lead for the Chinatrust Brothers over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for Fukuoka here in the top of the third inning. As we mentioned at the top of the stream, and each subsequent inning, we had a difficult time getting a lineup card for this one here before the game had started. So we're picking it off as we move along. And we'll get everything all sorted by the time everybody has come to bat at least one time here in this one. But we do have a pitching change, as they have gone to the bullpen, have the Chinatrust Brothers. This is going to be Lee Chen Wu on in relief, as he is taking over for Nilvaldo Rodriguez. So Lee Chen Wu on in relief, as the right-hander takes over for the other right-hander. And the first pitch on the way, fastball misses outside, and the count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes. It is Kenta Imamiya, the longtime shortstop, who is getting the reps at second base these days. So Imamiya up to bat here, batting from the right side, as the right-hander Wu leans in, gets the signs from his catcher Cow. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball that misses up and away. And the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Kenta Imamiya, the all-time Pacific leader in sacrifice bunts. He is a wizard with the bat. He's had a good couple of years, the last 2-3 seasons with the stick, not just a dead out at the plate, as there's a breaking ball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1 on Imamiya. He is a soft punch and Judy type hitter, as the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count now 2-2 to Imamiya. As we mentioned, tomorrow night, action again. Hawks and the Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team will go off tomorrow. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Imamiya is in the books. He is gone for out number 1. And that is going to bring up Kena Tanegawara. Who gets the start behind the plate tonight. A very difficult first inning for the Hawks. I don't know if it's so much a difficult inning for him as much as it was the starting pitcher, Uwasawa. Had a hard time throwing pitches for strikes. There's a fastball swung on. This is ripped into right field, and that's going to be the first hit and first base runner of the game here for Fukuoka. So Tanegawara aboard with a 1-out single. It was a fastball that ran right across the plate, and he made no mistake. He hammered that ball right past the glove of the leaping first baseman. Sue wasn't able to bring that one down. And that is going to bring up the first baseman. It's Ryuta Hirose. So on the first pitch to Hirose is a first fastball that misses down and away. And the count is quickly 1-0. Hirose, probably the only, well, maybe Tanegawara, because he's not really a regular for the Hawks. The bottom 2 hitters, I would think, are probably not going to be in the lineup tomorrow night. There's a fastball that misses up. Count goes to 2-0. Maybe unless something magical happens or something unbelievable happens, I would think these would be 2 that would probably and most likely be replaced. I would think the catcher tomorrow night that we would see for the Hawks more than likely would be Umeno. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time is the runner Tanegawara. Although Minai, who caught quite a bit last year, we could see him. My guess is Umeno would be the catcher of choice. Tanegawara with a very healthy lead at first. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Count goes to 2-1 on Hirose. Like he wanted to put the Hawks ahead there with one swing of the bat. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck is Isami Nomura. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander leans in again, gets the sign. He works himself into the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 3-2. Looked like it was a breaking ball, maybe more of a cutter than anything. He looked like he took a little something off that, the pitcher Wu. And Hirose swung right through it. So here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, taken for a called third strike. There goes the runner down to second. The throw, it's in time, and it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. So Hirose gone on strikes for the second out. Tanegawara, he's gunned down, caught stealing 2-6. And that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the third inning. Well, it was an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 3. It is the Chinatrust Brothers 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom half of the third inning when we return right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is Wei Chen Wong, Cheng Jui Sung, and Zhu Xian Chan to come to bat for the Chinatrust Brothers to start the bottom half of inning number 3. We're just waiting on confirmation if they are still going to ride out Yuki Uesawa or if they're going to the bullpen, but it looks like the Hawks have made a pitching change. It is going to be a left-hander that is coming on in relief. We'll get that for you here in just a moment, once our trusty teleprompter tells us who it is. So Uesawa's night is done. Wasn't sure if we were going to see him for a couple innings or if we were going to see him for 3, but it is going to be number 49 entering the ballgame. This is Hiro Matsumoto as he is coming in. We were saying the other day when some of the teams that we would see, of course, the pitchers, depending upon where they're at with their counts, most teams are a couple innings and then stretching their guys out. As Wei Chen Wong steps to the plate, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Wong 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to left field his first time up as there's a fastball that misses down and away. Count runs even to 1-1. So a ball and a strike. Left-hander Matsumoto delivers again. Another fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike it is. Upcoming games, we have a couple more games in this series that we're going to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the Dragons in that one there, but we may end up doing the Samurai Japan against the Chinichi Dragons, as that fastball had missed outside. Count has now gone to 3-1. So we'll update a little bit of our schedule here on the channel over the next few days. Fastball swung on. This is grounded over to the left side, sliding on his knees, getting up and throwing over to first as the shortstop Nomura, but it's not going to be in time. That's going to go down as an infield single for Wong, as he is safe over at first base. And that is going to bring up Cheng Jui Sung to the plate. Good piece of hitting there by Wong. He was one of the other left-handed sticks in the lineup. He did a good job of inside outing the ball to the left side of the infield. Nice job by Nomura to be able to get over, slide, and backhand it. Nomura had a really good Japan series last year. It looks like he is going to get all the opportunities to play at short to start this season, as the left-hander Matsumoto throws over to first base, and getting back easily is the base runner Wong. So Cheng Jui Sung, the center fielder, in tonight's game, doubled his first time up. He is 1 for 1. He came around and scored the only run for the Chinatrust Brothers to this point. Fastball misses inside, and the count now at a ball and no strikes to Sung. Left-hander against the right-hander. Matsumoto holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. Kurihara goes to second for 1. Back to first. And that is going to be a double play. It's going to go into the books to get the speedy Sung on the backside. 5-4-3. As he has gone for the second out. Wong gone for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Zhu Xian Chan to the plate. Probably a lot better to be able to face Chen with nobody on than with 2 batters on. Chen 0 for 1. He grounded out to third his first time up. Big fella bats from the right side, and he takes a breaking ball down. Count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander Matsumoto delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count runs even to 1-1. Chan getting the start in left field tonight. Or CT Brothers. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul down the left field line. Boyd, he made no mistake on that. He turned on that in a hurry. But he hook-barreled it down the left field line. Run the count to 1-2. I will say the tempo of the pitchers so far in this game has been fairly quick. As Matsumoto kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that runs under the hands of Chan, backs him off the plate, and the count goes to 2-2. A couple of big signings out of the Chinese league to the Japanese league this year was the pitcher that the Hawks have signed. There's a fastball swung on his tap softly back to the mound. Matsumoto fields it. He fires to first, and that is going to get Chan. It's going to go as a ground out 1-3. That is going to end the inning. We'll talk about those acquisitions when we come back. But a third of the ball game is in the books. Chinatrust Brothers go in order here in the third inning. No runs, no hits. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your scores, we are now through 3 complete. It is the Chinatrust Brothers 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is 1-0 for the Brothers. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 4th inning, and we'll be back in just a second. Alex K says, do we read the chat? We sure do. Thank you for popping in, and we try to keep it to what we're watching, and that would be the baseball game, and not really caring about what goes on in that other sport that happened on the weekend. So we'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is the top of the 4th inning, and it'll be the top of the order to come to bat for the Hawks, as it'll be Nomura, Yanagamachi, and Masaki. As it looks like the Chinatrust Brothers are heading to the bullpen again. It'll be Shuo Cheng Wei on in relief, a left-hander this time, so he's going to be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Chinatrust Brothers. And the first pitch to Isami Nomura is a fastball that runs inside for ball 1. Count is 1-0. And Nomura 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center field to begin the ball game on the first pitch that he saw. And the pitch is a fastball that just misses below the knees. And the count now runs to 2-0. As I mentioned before, what I think is the advantages to the pitchers of Fukuoka is the pitching for in the Taiwanese league is the depth of it isn't as strong. That is for sure. Pitch misses down. The count goes to 2-0. But they do have some power arms. There's no doubt about it. They've got some arms they can bring up to the plate. They got some guys who can run it up 90 plus. And we saw that with the pitcher from the Dragons last year, that Sia, who has signed with the Fukuoka Ball Club. He was sitting on 97 last year through the game that I watched through 7 innings. That was pretty impressive. And that is going to be a ball 4 here to Nomura. He's going to get 4 straight balls. So he is aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 4th inning, and that's going to bring Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. And Yanagamachi, he grounded out his first time up. Batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing pitcher pitcher Wei, as he throws over to first base and diving back in time as the base runner Nomura. Nomura with a healthy lead. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt. Pitches a fastball that catches the outside corner, and count goes to 0-1 on Yanagamachi. So no balls and 1 strike. One thing I do like, or I find it interesting, is that the Japanese league, they have the Western script on the back for the names, as there was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2 on Yanagamachi, but the back of the jerseys in Taiwan, the players, it's all in Mandarin. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. Of course, a little bit harder to read the Mandarin than the script of the North Americans, for sure. So 1-2 strikes to Yanagamachi as the lefty way kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it is fouled. I don't know if I got a piece of Yanagamachi or if I got a piece of the umpire. It looked like it had deflected off somebody. Count goes to 1-2. Keep an eye on Nomura here. They've obviously got the secondary cameras on him. They think that he may be a threat to run. And they throw over to first base, as do the brothers think he's a threat to run, and diving back safely. I'll try to get a runner into scoring position. Now, one would have to think that the Hawks would be dropping bunts at this point. As the pitch on the way, there's a breaking ball that comes inside. Did it hit Yanagamachi or did he foul it away? It looks like it's a foul ball. The runner was on the move. Pitch had come in. He checked his swing. It was one of those ones where you're not sure if he checked the swing or if it got him on the back elbow sometimes. Just the way that the ball had deflected. But it was a foul ball. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2-2 strikes. Left-hander waiting on the signs from his catcher. Now he gets him and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes full here to Yanagamachi. So 3-2 strikes. One thing I'd be interested in if they're going to do the halftime, they usually do during regular season games. They take that 5-minute break in between the 5th and the 6th innings. Certainly in Japan. They do it in Taiwan as well. I remember last year at the Fuban Guardians Stadium, they took sponges out to get the water. There goes the runner down to second. The throw, and it is not going to be in time, but it really doesn't matter because it's going to be ball 4. As Yanagamachi has got a walk, and that's back-to-back walks to start the 4th inning here for Fukuoka. And that is going to bring up the left fielder in Tomoya Masaki. It is the top half of inning number 4, 1-0 for the Chinatrust Brothers. As we update our ticker, as we're a little bit behind on that. Get ourselves into regular season mode pretty quickly here, as there's going to be a pile of games coming up. World Baseball Classic and others. Hopefully you can be in there for us, be there with us. I know that there will not be any women's hockey or the such on the channel. That brings Masaki to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in the first inning, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1-0 strikes. There's more action in the bullpen for the Chinatrust Brothers, as there is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. And I don't think by any stretch they can get that bullpen moving quick enough, because the lefty has come in here, has walked the first 2 batters he's faced, and he has struggled to throw strikes. 10 balls and only 4 strikes so far. In relief, as there's a fastball that's center cut finally, and it's taken for a called strike by Masaki. 2 balls and 1 strike it is. The third pitcher used by the brothers, Rodriguez started, Wu followed. And here it is, way here in the 4th inning, and he is looking to try to get himself out of this. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. Count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alex says a pitching meltdown. Yeah, pitching implosion. As I said, I'd just be surprised on how many they're going to roll out here tonight. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 2-2 to Masaki. As I mentioned too, I didn't see the brothers play last year. There's six teams in the Chinese Professional League. The Hawks play in Kaohsiung. The Lions play in, I believe it's Tainan. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded foul down the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. And I believe the Monkeys play in Taoyuan. The other three teams being the Dragons, the Brothers, and the Guardians. Well, Guardians play in New Taipei City, but the other two teams are all kind of in that Taipei area. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Oh, going back. Oh, it's being hit a while on the warning track, looking up, and this ball is going to be gone. A 3-run shot off the bat of Tomoya Masaki. And that has put the Hawks in front 3-1. That ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. And the way that the center fielder, Sung, moved back, it looked like he had a beat on the ball, and he just kept going back and back and back. And the next thing you know, he looks up and it's in the seats. A 3-run shot from Tomoya Masaki, and it is now a 3-1 lead. That has flipped the script in a big hurry here for the Fukuoka Ball Club. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Ryoya Kurihara. I wonder if that bullpen is still getting up and firing and ready. Nothing worse. A couple of walks and then a knock that produces 3 runs. Here's the first pitch to Kurihara, and it's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Only a matter of time until disaster would strike. Breaking ball down, and the count is 1-1. And the Chinatrust Brothers, for some context, are kind of the, I say the New York Yankees, but they are the most beloved team by the majority of the people. Most followed team, supported team. Fastball misses down, and the count now is 2-1 on Kurihara. Very popular in Taiwan. Arguably the most supported and financially supported as well. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is Chan. He's there to make the catch. And Kurihara is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It'll bring up the designated hitter in Hotaka Yamakawa. And when you think of the Fukuoka Ball Club, Fukuoka is one of the more wealthier teams in the NPB. SoftBank, obviously the sponsor. You got a financial institution that is running the ship. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yamakawa. Yamakawa 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out back in inning number 2. Brothers retired the first 7 Hawk batters that they faced. They faced the minimum through 3. As that breaking ball misses outside, it's now 1-1 to Yamakawa. But a couple of walks and 1 big swing of the bat has the Hawks out in front. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded past the diving third baseman into left field. There's going to be a base hit here for Yamakawa. So if it's not a walk, it's a couple of knocks. And Yamakawa aboard with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Tomoya Inoue to the plate. Well, for Inoue, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. Runner at first is Yamakawa gone, and we've got a trip to the mound as the pitching coach has gone out to have that's going to be it for Wei, and that will do it here for his appearance tonight. We are going to have a pitching change. Our friend Andy says the Brothers play at Taichung Intercontinental Stadium, more towards the middle and west. Yeah, you are correct on that one. Thanks for the correction there, Andy. Now, I understand that the Lions have a brand new stadium this year, so the stadium that got the roof ripped off that last year is no longer going to be used as their home ground, so they have moved up. Well, we have a pitching change as the Chinatrust Brothers have gone to the bullpen. It is going to be, from our counts here, number 20. This is going to be Chung Chen Chang on in relief. So the big right-hander is getting his tune-up tosses in. So Chun Cheng Chang here on in relief to face Tomoya Inoue. We're going to take just a 30-second break. We'll be right back after this. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Hawks and Brothers, 3-1 for the Hawks, and we'll be right back after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
3-1 is your scoreline as we are here in the top of the fourth inning. It is Yamakawa, the runner, at first, and it will be Tomoya Inoue to come to bat as the reliever Chung Chen Chang has completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action. Inoue 0 for 1 tonight. He has grounded to second, his only trip to the plate. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Inoue. For those of you who join us in, and we always update our ticker, usually at the end of the half inning or unless there's a pitching change. It just becomes an extra piece here. If we had a couple more arms or tentacles, we'd be able to do that a little bit quicker. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Inoue batting from the right side here. He gets the start in right field tonight. Brothers are in their yellow tops and the Hawks in the black. There's a fastball that misses inside. They appeal over to the first base, but you say Inoue didn't go, and that runs the count to 1-2. We'll get a look at the replay of that one. Good call by the first base umpire. Looked like he had held up his swing. Again, the right-hander working to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung. This ball is lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and this ball is gone. A 2-run shot off the bat of Tomoya Inoue, and that is going to increase the scoreline to 5-1. So Inoue is going to do his 2 around the bases, and that's a rude awakening for Chang. As Inoue comes across the plate with a 2-run shot, and the Hawks have gone crazy here in the fourth inning with 5 runs. And that'll bring up the second baseman in Kenta Imamiya. Alex says this is getting really ugly. Well, it can unravel in a big-time hurry. And as I mentioned, the overall quality depth of the pitching, as there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. And then you for good measure, you start taking out some of the better players off of these teams. That goes for the Hawks, too, as they're missing a few players on the classic roster. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball missing inside, and the count goes to 2-0. Hawks are the 2025 NPB champions, and the depth that they have in their squad is quite impressive, both on the mound and in the field. As the pitch is on the way, fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted into the seats, foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 2-1 on Imamiya. Right-hander against the right-hander. Chang getting the sign and pitching from the stretch, even though there's nobody on base. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and it's now 3-1. As I was saying earlier, just the command and control and the ability to be able to throw strikes That was the thing I noticed last year, is that just a lot of walks. Games can spiral out of control. As the pitch is on the way. And there is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. That count round now runs full to Imamiya. If you like hitting, you probably like the Chinese Professional League, because there's a lot of balls that end up getting put in play. There's a fastball that misses inside, and it's going to be ball 4. That's going to be another walk here in the inning. Imamiya is aboard. That's the third walk issued by Brothers pitchers. Couple that with a couple of home runs and a single, and so they come up with a 5-1 lead. And that is going to bring Kenta Tanegawara to the plate. Tanegawara got the party started offensively for the Hawks, because he had the first hit of the ball game for him, but he was erased in a attempted steal of second base. Batting from the left side, getting the nod behind the plate tonight. So right-hander against the left-hander. As Chang delivers, there's a fastball that misses. Oh, boy, he's taken for a called strike. They were set up outside. I think if I was in North America, I'd be tapping the helmet. I want to get another look at that one. The catcher, Cow, was set up on the outside part of the plate. The pitch was inside. He had to reach across his body to catch it. The home plate umpire gave him the call. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by the first baseman, who almost falls over and barely makes the play. So Siu wanted to go to second base. He stumbled, got his cleats caught in the turf, and then he had to hurry to go step on the bag to erase Tanegawara. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3. He's out for the second out of the inning. Kenta Imamiya is safe at second. And this is going to bring up Ryuta Hirose to the plate, the 9th hitter to come to bat for the Hawks here in inning number 4. So the right-hander ready to go. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to short. Oh, nice play there by Chang as he slides to his left, picks it up, fires to first, and Hirose is going to be retired on a ground out 6-3. And that is going to do it here for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in their half of the inning. But they pound out a bunch of runs, 5 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores, we move now to the bottom half of inning number 4. Fukuoka 5, the Chinatrust Brothers 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few to carrying on, giving you guys the call of this one here from the Taipei Dome in Taipei City. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It'll be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Chinatrust Brothers. It'll be Su, Chen, and Seng to come to bat here, as they will send the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to the plate. The big blows in the last half inning: a 3-run shot out the bat of Tomoya Masaki and a 2-run homer from Tomoya Inoue. So the Tomoyas ganged up on the Brothers in top of inning number 4. Just waiting on confirmation here. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Hawks. 1-3-0 for the Brothers. Keep our eyes for the substitutions as they become available. Still Matsumoto on the hill as he delivers a first pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Sue. Sue walked and was stranded at second base back in the first inning, as there's a fastball that misses down and away. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Do the late night show again tomorrow, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and we're swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2. Sorry. We're going to be back on for the late night show, and then we'll double back later that evening to do another game, as there's a breaking ball missing down and away. It looks like they're 11. The game tomorrow will be at 3 a.m. That'll be the game between the Hawks and Chinese Taipei's World Baseball Classic team. And then it is going to be 11 p.m. if you were in North America on the Pacific Coast, or 2 a.m. for the following night games. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Sue is in the books for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Chun-Soo Chen to the plate. So as I mentioned, then will be the Fighters. Will be their turn. It'll be the Fighters and the Chinese Taipei national team. And then from what I understand, it is going to be the way, if I said this correctly, the Weishuan Dragons will play the Fighters the night after that. Breaking ball delivered to Sue, and that's taken for a called strike. So Chun-Soo Chen, and there's a breaking ball missing down. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. He singled his first time up. He's the designated hitter in the ball game tonight. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike. The hitter checked his swing, but the home plate umpire still went up with the right hand. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Chen. I've had a decent, reliable source tonight. Get pretty good feed, but from time to time it is failed us, and it looks like that the hitter here has swung or taken a called third strike, or was he just taking a called third strike? It looked like he was trying to check his swing again, but Matsumoto tied him up for the second out of the inning. That one's going to go down as a backwards K this time. So 2 gone here for the Brothers. The fastball from Matsumoto delivered to Seng misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The depth of the arms for the Hawks is going to be what will play out in this one would think. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down and in. The count goes to 2-0. Curious to see what they've got saved up for tomorrow. My guess is that I would think they're probably going to run. I don't think they're going to run Carter Stewart, because Carter Stewart pitched against Japan the other night. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Of course, Kohei Arihara is long gone. He is back with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, so we were not going to see him this season. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 2-2. And the Hawks are missing a couple of their big guns, as we mentioned that Kondo, the hitter, as Shudo, the hitter, are with the national team. As is Taisi Makihara, I do believe, is there as well. That fastball misses inside. Count now goes to 3-2 on Seng. Here's the 3-2 offering. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Kurihara gobbles it up, fires to first, and that is going to do it. Seng's gone for a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in inning number 4. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as the Brothers go quietly. We're through 4 complete. It is a 5-1 Hawks lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 5th inning in just a couple of moments on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. 5-1 for the Hawks as we move to the top of the fifth inning. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Hawks and the Chinatrust Brothers as there is a 5-1 lead here for Fukuoka as we move to the top of the fifth. And for those of you who have not indulged yourself in baseball in Taiwan, they do like to make a lot of noise when their team is up to bat in between innings, and they dance on the dugouts. It is one of the interesting things, very similar to what you would see in the Korean League. It's going to be Hui Sheng Lin on the hill now, coming on in relief. He's going to be the fifth pitcher used by the Chinatrust Brothers in this one. So Hui Sheng Lin. And hopefully somebody who can throw strikes. It is going to be the top of the order slated to come to bat for the Hawks. Nomura, Yanagamachi, and Masaki. And the first pitch to Nomura is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Nomura is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to begin the ball game as he flew to center field, and then he walked and scored a run in the fourth as the Hawks sent 9 hitters to the plate. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. A little bit of a struggle right now as we are waiting here as the right-hander ready to go again. And that's what the love of this is for. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count goes to 1-2 on Nomura. It's been a pretty reliable feed so far for the most part, and now we're starting to get into the wonkiness of this all. I guess that's what you get for free baseball when it's not on a regular spot. There is a fastball swung on this. It's going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach into the seats. Count remains at 1-2 to Nomura. It's almost like somebody forgot to put the quarters into the machine, or whenever that may be, to help that happen. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The wheel of death as it spins. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander ready to go. Works himself to the set. Here's the pitch from Lin. And that is swung on and fouled away. It's lifted into the seats down the left field line. As I said, rather disappointed to see what I call a low turnout. I wonder if they would have played this game on the weekend, if the fans would have come out in droves a little bit more for the Chinatrust Brothers. As we mentioned before, last year trying to get a game between Chinatrust Brothers and the Dragons, and it was just sold out, couldn't get any tickets. But those were on weekends. There's a fastball that just misses down. Boy, Lynn wanted that pitch, but pitch just missed down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Friend Alex asked if we follow in the chat. We do follow in the chat. The problem is that sometimes I got to cut away to a B feed. As that ball looks like it has been scorched, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it as Nomura. Maybe that's why they're doing it. Nomura has absolutely scorched the ball over the center fielder's head, and he's got himself a triple here. Unable to run it down. The ball was hit, and he had to turn on it. Did the center fielder, that would be Sung, and then the ball took a wicked hop, bounced over his head, went all the way to the wall. And so Nomura aboard with a leadoff triple here to start the top of the fifth inning. And that's tough, too, when you have a guy in the hole and then you lose him. So Nomura standing at third here. Alex says, how's the catcher framing in this league? That's a good question. I'll come back to that in a second. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. I never was a big fan about 3 or 4 years ago when they started to go to this one knee stuff and guys are working off of one knee. The glove is brought all the way to the ground and then they're jerking it up. And I remember back in the day, if you did that to umpires, the umpires say, hey, stop it. You're making me look bad. Just catch the pitch where it is. Make it easy. There's a fastball that misses down and away and the count goes to 1-1. So how's the framing in this league? It's, I guess, the similar nonsense that we're seeing in North America. I'm not a big fan of that. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Lynn. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. I like the framing. Like there's a certain amount of framing that you can do. I'm all about framing a pitch. It's how it's going about doing it. Like as I was mentioning, like if a pitch is down low in the zone around below the knees and you catch it and you jerk it up, there's subtleties that you can do on how your glove can move to frame a pitch without having to move it 10 inches. As I watch the catcher here and there's a perfect example for the Chinatrust Brothers. There was a ball in the dirt and it scooted away up the third baseline. They're fortunate the run didn't come home. But if there were runners anywhere else on base paths, they would have moved up for sure on that. That was a pitch that was down the dirt. And he did a poor job. As he has the glove going down to pick up the ball, he doesn't actually get down to block it, and the ball skipped on him and ends up squirting away. So now we've got 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. And I think about it at the youth level when you're trying to teach kids. Pitchers at the youth level have a hard time throwing strikes. And I hate to say it, the Chinatrust Brothers at a professional level are having a trouble time tonight here throwing enough strikes. Fastball swung on, it's hammered into right field. That's going to get a run in as it got by the first baseman, Sue. And sliding into second base with a double is Yanagamachi. Throw came in behind him. They applied the tag, but it is not going to be in time. And so he's got himself an RBI double. That's going to increase the scoreline to 6-1 for the Hawks. That'll bring up the left fielder in Tomoya Masaki. So I think there'll be some people with different takes on it for sure, but definitely as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a big fan of the way that the balls are being received at the professional level here today. And I'll take it even one step further. You go back into the 80s. I remember when Terry Kennedy and Lance Parrish were the catchers in the 84 World Series. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses up and away. And I use this example regular. If you watch their glove work, it was terrible. Their glove work was awful. A close pitch, they would catch it and just sling it back. They wouldn't even waste their time, even attempting to try to frame it. We do have a pinch runner over at second base for Yanagamachi. His night is done. So Sagawa is in to run for him. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted. Foul, it's going to reach the seats down over on the first base side, and it's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike to Tomoya Masaki. Masaki delivered the big blow tonight. He is 1 for 2. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. As he delivered the 3-run go-ahead blow in the 4th inning for the Fukuoka Ball Club. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to short. Oh, not a very good piece of running by the pinch runner. You come into pinch run. It was a ground ball in front of you. Nice play by the shortstop Chang, who throws it to the third baseman covering the bag. That's going to be a fielder's choice. As it'll retire the runner going to third, it's going to be 6-5 on the putout for the first out. Safe at first is Masaki on the fielder's choice, and that's going to bring Ryoya Kurihara to the plate. Alex says, you take issue with the aesthetics of it. Well, I think that's some of it. There's an art to framing. And we used to say you never want to pull the window shade down when you're catching a ball up at the letters. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. You get a pitch that's belly button high, and you catch it and you yank it down. You say to the catcher, stop pulling the window shade down. I don't have a problem with guys getting underneath the ball to get underneath to try to push it up for the strike, but certainly the frame is how that ball is presented to the umpire. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2 to Ryoya Kurihara. And then at another point in time with the ABS system, I guess, what does it matter if you're yanking the pitches up and down? Catch it where it is. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, off the glove of the diving first baseman, Sue. This is going to get into right field, and racing his way over to third is Masaki. That's going to put runners at the corners with one gone. And the Hawks are flapping their wings here again. They've got something brewing. And that is going to bring up the big fella in Hotaka Yamakawa. So Yamakawa coming to bat here. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He's also struck out. The brothers are on their heels again here, but it looks like we have a pinch runner over at first base. And so it is going to be Henning. It looks like the night is over for Yamakawa, so he gets his 2 at-bats and he's done. And it is Yuta Akihiro swings. He hits this ball into deep center field. That's going to be deep enough to get the run in. It is going to bring home the runner Masaki from third. He is going to score. It's going to increase the score line to 7-1. So the former Yomiuri Giant and Yuto Akihiro does his job. He's a big man. He stands, if I'm not mistaken, about 6'7". And they almost got the runner. Boy, that's a pretty speedy runner. The pinch runner over at first base who's come into the ball game. It is Ikini Itua. As he had come in to run for Kurihara, I'd be curious to see what they're going to do with him as Tomoya Inoue steps in at the plate. He takes a first pitch down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So we'll have some changes in the lineup to keep our eyes on here as they throw over to first base, and the speedy base runner dives back to the bag. They list him as an infielder is Itua, so we'll see what he has. There he goes, down to second. The throw is going to be in time. Didn't get the jump that he thought he might have. He's going to get gunned down. It's going to go caught stealing 2-6 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Hawks, but damage is done again as they score a pair of runs in the inning, 2 runs on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and nobody left aboard. Your score as we're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 5. It is a 7-1 lead for the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a bit. And we appreciate you guys for hanging in. Our good friend Tyler has popped in. Glad you can make it in here tonight, Tyler. Glad you could be here. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this musical time out. 7-1. Hawks have the lead. Welcome back, everybody, and we're glad Tyler can make it in here tonight. If I'm not mistaken, memory always serves me correct that Tyler is in the Indianapolis area, and we're glad you could listen in this morning, probably about 6:30 your time. It is going to be Yu, Cao, and Chang to come to bat here. We're just going to get a confirmation. We'll see if the Hawks are going to make a pitching change. The starter was Naoyuki Uesawa. They went to Haru Matsumoto. So those were the first two pitchers used by the Hawks. This game is halfway in the books. And it still looks like it's Matsumoto on the hill. He has hardly broken a sweat through his 27 pitches. In the 2 innings he has worked, he has faced the minimum. That was interesting. As he delivers a pitch, and he gets his cleats caught and almost falls off the mound. So I don't know if we're going to have a no pitch there, or if that was able. Looks like that's exactly what it's going to be, as a no pitch with nobody on. We'll see that one again. He got up, and then he just got his heel caught in the hole there, and I think he's going to have to do some gardening. If I'm not mistaken, I think the ball has to get across the foul line for it to be counted as a pitch. So that would go as a no pitch in the books. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike under the hands, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yu. Yu is getting the start at second base tonight. He is 0 for 1 as he flew out to center field his first time up. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, and Nomura tries to backhand it, and it eats him up. Tyler says he's on his way to work this morning, as that ball got through Yu, or got through the shortstop, and Yu is aboard. I believe that will probably go down as an error on the shortstop. Yeah, he just whiffed on that one. That wasn't very good by Nomura, who's been a fairly steady glove. Certainly last year during the Japan series. So runner aboard. It's going to bring Yu Cao to the plate. Cao 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. As the pitch is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Brothers and Hawks from the Taipei Dome. 7-1. The Hawks have the lead here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Fastball swung on. Nice piece of hitting there by the catcher, Cao, as he inside outs the ball, lines it into right field. That's down for a base hit. And so he is aboard with a single. That's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Zhenwei Chang. Talking about how runs could be scored in a hurry in the Chinese league. Saw the Hawks and the Monkeys last year play, and the Monkeys jumped out to a fairly healthy lead. And then the Hawks just put on a hitting display, and there was like a couple innings back to back, and ended up going on to win the ball game that I was at. And it was just hit after hit after hit. And then when you couple it with pitchers who can't throw strikes, it can sure unravel in a hurry. So Zhenwei Chang at the plate here, 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded to short his first time up. Takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Tyler said, just popped in to say hello. We're glad you could make it in, Tyler. We're look forward to getting into the regular season action, not that far away, and certainly some World Baseball Classic action as well. So hopefully you can join us for some of that as the baseball season is upon us. There's a breaking ball that's taken upstairs for a ball, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Chang. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Waiting on deck is the top of the order. That would be Wei Chen Wang. As the lefty Matsumoto kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It's going to slice into the netting. It's going to run the count to 1-2 on Chang. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Matsumoto gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go back at it. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses inside. Count now runs to 2-2. I think they wanted that call. Tanagawara really held the pitch. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chang. Here's the offering from Matsumoto. It's a breaking ball down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, who's been busy tonight, but they say that Chang didn't go around on that one. It runs the count full. We'll get a look at the replay on that one. And again, I have to say that the first base umpire made the right decision. Good call on that. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 runners aboard here, nobody out in the 5th inning. An error and a single have got things going for the Brothers, and there is a fastball that is swung through and missed. And Chang is gone on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Wei Chen Wong. If there's an opportunity for the Brothers to get a couple of runs back and try to get back into this one, this is the chance right now with the leadoff batter and the second batter to get on here to start the inning. But they've set the table for the top of the order, so Wong is going to have to do some work. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. Wong tonight flew out to left, and he singled in his 2 trips. Batting from the left side here against the lefty Matsumoto. As the Hawks pitcher kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball that misses down and is going even to 1-1. Outfield is normal depth. They're not really looking to throw anybody out at the plate. They'll trade the run for the out as they stay a little bit deeper. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on. This is hammered to third, and it's gobbled up Kurihara. And there is another error here, and that's going to load the bases. That's going to go in the books as an E5. So Wong is aboard. Safe over at third is Yu. Kao has gone to second. Bases are now full of Brothers here in this inning. The ball was hit right off the end of the bat. It looked like it may have, I'll have to get a look at the replay here. It looked like it was on the carpet. Kurihara should have come up with that one. As the base runner had to hold his ground, and once he saw it get through, they originally were looking to wave him home, and then nice job by Nomura backing up the play. So bases are loaded. It's going to bring Cheng Ji-sung to the plate. Or is it? Yeah, it's going to bring Sung to the plate. Looks like we have a pinch runner over at first. It's going to be the end of the night for Wong. We'll have to get that caught up in a bit. So Cheng Ji-sung tonight is 1 for 3, doubled in the first and grounded into a double play back in inning number 3. Takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. The count is 1-0. So a couple errors here have set the table and a base hit for the Brothers in this one, in this half inning. Lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, lined into straightaway center field. Should be deep enough to get the run in. And tagging at third and heading home is Yu. He's going to score the second run of the game for the Brothers. And there is some low fives to go around. And a sacrifice fly off the bat is Sung. It's going to be an RBI for him. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the left fielder in Zhu Xian Chen. So an unearned run on the board here for the Brothers in the inning, and Chan steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to third and grounded back to the pitcher in his 2 trips. As the lefty works again to the set, here's the pitch. Fastball inside. Peel over to the first base umpire, and again they say that Chan didn't go, and the count goes to 1-0. Just as a reminder, after this half inning, we'll put the music on loop, and we will go and refresh our beverage and carry on with the call of the 6th inning As the lefty works himself to the set position, here comes the pitch. Fastball swung through and missed. The count goes to 1-1 on Chan. Matsumoto ready to go again as he works himself to the set. He checks the runner back at second. Now delivers. Fastball swung on line to the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to challenge the arm of the left fielder. The throw to the plate is going to be in time. Oh, no. Yeah, first it looked like it was going to be in time, but the catcher has bobbled the ball, and in safely is going to be the runner, Cow. We're going to have to take a look. I don't know if they're going to do the replay, but it was Akene who was in left field. He came on to pinch run earlier. He came up, he threw a bullet to the plate. It was on the infield side, or the fair territory side of home plate. Looked like Tanagawara had it in time and was able to make the tag, but home plate umpire right on top of it. We'll get a look at the replay on that one. Oh. Well, very interesting. I don't even know. Although the umpire blocked the plate, it looked like he had slid around and got it. Oh, it was a nice piece of sliding there by the runner, or by the catcher, Cow. Really good throw by the left fielder. But Cow in to score. It's going to be an RBI single for Chan. Over to third goes Wong, and they got runners on the corners still with 2 out. Another run in. It's now 7-3 for the Hawks. And here's the first offering to Chi-Hung Soo. He fouls out one away for strike one, and the count is 0-1. So the Chinatrust Brothers looking to get a couple more here to claw back into this one. Lefty holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. Big story of this inning is how the Hawks have forgotten how to play defense. A couple errors and a nice slide by the Chinatrust Brothers catcher to avoid the tag of the catcher. That's the one thing. Tanagawara went after the base runner to try to apply the tag. Should have just stayed right toward home plate. Put the glove to the plate rather than chasing him. Let the guy slide and come to you. Instead, he got swam at the plate. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side of home plate. The count remains at 0-2 to Soo. (7-3) the scoreline. As the lefty Matsumoto works and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle to Nomura. He fields it. He's going to take it himself to the bag, and probably wisely so. That's going to be a fielder's choice to erase Chan, and he is gone for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Chinatrust Brothers in their half of the fifth inning. Well, they got 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was 2 errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard, so 2's all the way around. Your score, as we're now through 5 complete, it is a 7-3 scoreline. We're going to take our break, put the music on loop, and come back and give you the 6th inning after this. Appreciate you for listening in. 7-3 is the score, as the Hawks have the lead over the Brothers. 6th inning is just around the corner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another pitching change. This is going to be the sixth pitcher used by the Chinatrust Brothers. It'll be Yi Kai Wang on in relief, as he will be slated to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the batting order, which would be Inoue, Imamiya, and Tanegawara. There are starting to be some changes on both of these clubs. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for who is coming where, but Wang in relief here, as we'll get some of those defensive changes as the players come to bat. Unfortunately, my scorecard is going to look like a coloring book here very shortly, especially with all the runs in the last couple innings. So 7-3, the Hawks have the lead as the first pitch from Wang is delivered. It's a fastball swung on it, is popped up and lifted into shallow center field. Racing in underneath it, it would have been the center fielder's sung, but his night is done. The replacement has hauled it in, so Inoue with one pitch is gone. He is out for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up the second baseman in Kenta Imamiya. Well, for Imamiya, it's not going to be, it looks like it's going to be Hikaru Kawase. We'll be stepping in for the veteran. So Imamiya's night is done, and Hikaru Kawase on in. So a battle of the backups is to be ensued here, as the first pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty again kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty ready to deliver again. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball's hammered the other way, right through the 6 hole. And Kawase is going to join the hit parade here, as he's aboard with a single. And by our counts, that is going to be the 8th hit tonight recorded so far by the ball club. And that is going to bring up the catcher in Kenta Tanegawara. Well, for Tanegawara, he's had an entertaining evening. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He was singled. He was caught stealing. He's also grounded to first, and behind the plate, he's been challenged by some of the control of the Hawks as the pitch is on the way. Fastball taken under the hands for called strike. Count is 0-1. And then in the last half inning, he had the play at the plate. The throw was in time, and he couldn't apply the tag to the runner trying to score. Should have been the end of the inning, or at least the out there that would have led to the end of the inning. There was a fastball swung on and grounded foul. Now it's 1-2 to Tanegawara. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty working himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball waved at and missed. Tipped into the catcher's mitt, and that will do it here for Tanagawara. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's slated to bring up the first baseman in Ryuta Hirose. I guess the word I would use there would be overmatched. So Wong has come in and he's done fairly well to the first 3 batters he's faced as he flips it over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Kawase. Kawase is a threat to run at first. As the lefty Wong leans in, he works himself to the set position. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0. So some of the regulars have now departed the game for the Hawks, with Imamiya, Kurihara, and Yamakawa long gone. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. And racing back and now coming back in to make the catch as the center fielder. And that will do it here for Hirose as he's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. So not much damage done here, that's for sure. So a couple innings where the Hawks have pounded out some runs, 5 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. They leave 1 stranded here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left to board. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 7-3 ball game for the Hawks over the Brothers. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments right after this with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you in just a few. Seven 3 Hawks have the lead as we move to the bottom half of inning number 6. Stay with us, everybody. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel and Hawks versus Brothers when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We're just going to wait for the confirmation as they're going to the bullpen again, but it is going to be a right-hander this time, taking over here to begin the bottom half of inning number 6. And so we have number 39 coming onto the hill, and that is going to be Shuto Ogata. So the right-hander takes over here. And the first pitch on its way is a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike. So Shuto Ogata on the hill. Coming on in relief here of Uesawa and Matsumoto. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line. It's slicing, and it's going to make its way into the seats. And the count is quickly 0 strikes to Chun Soo Chen. Chen tonight is 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out looking in his 2 trips. Batting from the right side here against the right-hander. As Ogata rocks and delivers, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and that is going to do it. It's the second time Chen's gone down on strikes tonight. So 1 in the books here, and that is going to bring Sun En Xiang to the plate. pitch was actually a split finger fastball of the variety. It looked like it was a breaking ball, but it was actually a split finger pitch that was more of a, looked had a 12-6 motion to it. Like a good old fashioned 12-6 curveball. So Ogata gets the first out that he faces. And that is going to bring Sung-En Seng to the plate. As we mentioned, Seng 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out to his name. Another big fella in the lineup for the Brothers. There's a fastball that misses up. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and again, he says he doesn't go. Busy night. Busy night of no, he didn't go for the first base umpire. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Ogata delivers fastball that just misses a bit low, and the count now runs to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Sung-En Seng. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and that's going to be ball 4. So he goes from striking out Chen on 3 straight pitches to walking Seng on 4 straight pitches. He's got a runner at first with 1 gone. That is going to slated to bring up second baseman in Tung-Hwa Ye. But it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for him. It's going to be Shi-Lun Chang. So Shi-Lun Chang on in to pinch hit for Ye. As Ye's night is done. As the right-hander ready to go again. Pitch on the way. Fastball comes up and in. It's ball 1 here to Chang. It's one way to welcome the new hitter to the game is ride him up and in with a high fastball. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander again works himself to the set. Now delivers. There's a fastball. Catches the inside corner for a called strike. Count goes even to 1-1. (7-3) Hawks, bottom of the 6th inning. Exhibition baseball from Taipei City in Taiwan. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball missing down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So it looks like the Hawks have found their version of the Brothers relief corps, and Ogata here, who's all of a sudden forgot how to throw strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander against the left-hander. Ogata working again from the stretch. Checks the runner over at first, which is Seng. Seng not really threat to run at this point. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and that is going to do it as Cheng goes in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher in Yuche Kao. We'll see if Kao is still going to be staying with us tonight or if he is going to be replaced as well. And it is going to be Tung-En Chen. So we are going to have a pinch hitter here. So Tung-En Chen in to hit. So Kao's night is done. The first pitch coming here from Shuto Ogata. Fastball swung on. They throw down to first and try to backpick the runner, Seng, but he gets back feet first safely into the base. Some quick reflexes there by the catcher, so no balls and 1 strike. The right-hander ready to go again as the pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander Ogata ready to go. getting his sign from Tanagawara. He works himself to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Reaches the seats on the first base side of home plate. One of the things that's interesting too, or at least I find in Asia, that you can do it in Japan and also in Taiwan. You go to the game, you enter in, and then you can get a stamp or a re-entry pass. So if you don't want to eat the food in the stadium, you can go outside the stadium and go get some food and then bring it back, or eat it and then come back in a little bit later. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. So Ogata, who forgot how to throw strikes to Seng, strikes out the rest of the hitters he faces. Nobody puts the ball in play. And that is going to do it for the third out of the inning as Chen is in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors, one runner left aboard. Your score now as we move to the top of the seventh inning. It is still a 7-3 game. Appreciate you all for being here and listening in. We hope you have a good time here this evening. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a 7-3 ball game as the Hawks have the lead over the Chinatrust Brothers. We are ready to get to the top of the seventh inning. 2/3 of the game is in the books. The cheerleaders from Fukuoka are putting on their display as their Hawks and their mascots are all out on the field, entertaining the crowd in Taipei City. That's always kind of interesting how they bring the opponent's mascots in and they give the crowd something to cheer about. That it'll be it. As Harry the Hawk is making his way back down into the dugout with the Hawk flag. So we do have a pitching change as the Chinatrust Brothers are going to their bullpen. It is going to be number 49. This is going to be Chen Yu in the ball game. So a new pitcher here. By our counts, this will be the 7th one used tonight by the Chinatrust Brothers. So Chen Yu here on in relief. And he's slated to get the top of the order. And we'll see if it is going to be the top. Although the catcher here for the Hawks, the new catcher who has replaced Cow, is getting a little bit of help here. It looks like he's got a problem with his pads. Looks like it's the PitchCom. The mighty dreaded PitchCom. We were talking about how catchers receive the ball earlier, and now you've got the PitchCom, another piece of technology that should be tossed in the garbage. In a lot of ways, I think it should almost be like football. There's no technology on the field when the headsets go down for one team. I don't think there should be any technology on the field, period, or in the dugout. If you want to go down the tunnel and look at it, that's one thing, because it does exist. But if you want to be in the dugout on the field to play, you got to keep the technology out. So Asami Nomura steps up to the plate. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike. It is supposed to be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Yanagamachi was replaced. And Masaki was still in the ballgame last. Well, I think Masaki's night is done as well. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes even to 1-1, so we'll have to catch up on those when they come to bat. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Fastball swung on, grounded on one hop over to third. Neatly fielded by the third baseman, who fires over to first, and that is going to do it. So Wong makes the play at third, fires across the diamond, and that is going to retire Namura on a ground out 5-3. So one in the books. And we'll see what they're going to have here for the next hitter coming to the dish. And this is going to be Yoshiyasu Sasagawa. This was the runner who ran himself into the out. So Sasagawa in to hit here. First pitch fastball misses down for ball. And there's a pitch that is taken for a strike. The count runs even to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike it is. There is a breaking ball that just misses. Count goes to 2-1 on Sasagawa. 7-3 Hawks have the lead here in the top half of inning 7. Fastball swung on. It's chopped over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Chang, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Sasagawa on a ground out 4-3. So 2 quick outs here to start the 7th inning for the Hawks, and that'll leave it up. I'm supposed to leave it up to Masaki, but I think his night might be done as well. Nope. Tomoya Masaki here. I think he has moved over down to right field based on our stats. Nope, first base. He's now the new first baseman. Masaki's had a busy night tonight. He is officially 1 for 3. Swings and chops this over to third. Fielded neatly by Wang. He fires to first, and that's going to be a quick inning here for the Hawks on a ground out 5-3. So 3 up and 3 down. Pretty workmanlike inning there for you. And that will do it here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. We'll be back in just a few after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is slated to be Chang, Wong, and Sung to come to bat, and we'll see if that is going to hold true. The Hawks had gone to their bullpen as they brought in Ogata to start the last half inning. It looks like we have a new Hawks catcher as well. We'll keep you updated and posted on all of the changes as they become available. And the first pitch on its way here to Jianwei Chang is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Chang 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded out and struck out in his 2 trips. As the right-hander Ogata delivers a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, the count now goes to 0-2. It's almost like a cutter more than anything. It's a sharp break to the pitch. Not really a looping one or a sweeper or anything along those lines. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 0-2. I always find it humorous that they come up with different names for stuff. A sweeper, slider, not much difference. Cutter was one, and split finger pitch and a fork ball, very similar. Basically the same pitch. Fastball misses down. Every once in a while they throw out a name that gets people's attention. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and that is going to do it. Chang is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So Ogata, who fell apart facing Sung En Seng, walking him on 4 straight pitches in the 6th inning, has got himself back on track. He struck out the side after that 4-pitch walk, and he has struck out Cheng to lead off the 7th inning here. It'll bring up, it's supposed to be the top of the order, but it's going to be Wei Sheng Huang at the plate, and he takes a breaking ball down for ball 1. So he is in as a pinch hitter. And there is a cutter that's taken for a called strike. The count now 1-1. Right-hander Ogata rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Ogata delivers again. Ooh, there's a breaking ball, but this one took a little something off that one, but he left it upstairs. Count runs even to 2-2. That one was kind of over the top by the right-hander. As the 2-2 on the way, there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count full to Huang. Right-hander against the right-hander, ready to go again. Ogata getting the sign from his catcher. Very close stance here by the hitter at the plate. As the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball down and away, and the count, that's going to run to ball 4. Is it ball 4? That's what we got on our books. Maybe we had it off by a count here. Maybe it's now 3-2. Maybe he gets an extra pitch here. Who knows? 3 balls, 2 strikes. On the way, fastball swung on, chopped over to second. Fielded by the second baseman, Kawase, who throws to first. That's going to retire Huang for the second out of the inning. Ground out 4-3. 2 in the books. That's going to leave it up to the center fielder in Sung. Or is it? We might have ourselves another pinch hitter here. It's going to be Chenghua Ye, as he is coming in. So as we said, the parade to the bench is continuing. So Chenghua Ye. As he swings and misses at the first pitch, and the count is quickly 0-1. Ye batting from the left side against Ogata. And there's a split finger pitch that's swung on in the dirt, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. Well, Ye has come up swinging. He's come up swinging and missing so far. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and that was a quick inning as Ye is gone for the 3rd out, and that's going to do it here in the 7th. Ogata, 2 innings of relief and 5 strikeouts to his name. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard as the Brothers go in order here in inning number 7. We're going to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Hawks with a 7-3 lead. over the Chinatrust Brothers. Top of the eighth is just around the corner after this. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call when we return in just a few. Your score as we move to the top of the eighth inning, it is a 7-3 Hawks lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Hawks here in the top of the eighth inning. Yeah, we'll have to get you caught up on that as it becomes available, as it's supposed to be Kurihara, Akihiro, and Inoue, but I think we've got some changes for that to be made here, and I do believe that it will be Kene Uta who is slated to come to bat. If I'm not mistaken, he had come in to run for Kurihara, and he would be the leadoff hitter here in the inning. I haven't seen him hit yet. He bats from the left side, so I'm curious to see what he brings, as we did show off his arm in left field. The first pitch is a fastball missing down and away. Count is quickly 1-0. We do have a same pitcher. It is Chen Yu on the hill here. Out for his second inning of work. He only threw 8 pitches in the last inning. There's a chopper up the middle. Moving to his left and fielding it is the shortstop, Chang, who fires to first, and that's going to get the speedy runner here of Tua. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring Yukito Akihiro to the plate. Yuto Akihiro, the former Yomiuri Giant, came on as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning for Hotaki Yamakawa. Big fella. He stands at 6'7", batting from the left side. He's not the thickest of fellas, but he's got some length and some range to him. There's a fastball missing outside. If I'm not mistaken, that trade was for Richard last year, Richard Sunagawa. And I think it was a change of scenery for both teams. That's a good old-fashioned one-for-one baseball trade. Fastball catches the outside corner and count goes to 1-1. Obviously, the Giants liked Akihiro, but wasn't able to make the step. I think some of it, by the word out of the camp, if I read it correctly, was there was some work ethic issues or questions. As that fastball misses down and away, count goes to 2-1. I saw him play a couple years ago for the Giants, both in Osaka and in Tokyo, and he showed some flashes of brilliance. He's a young guy. Fastball swung on and it's grounded over to second, neatly fielded, and the throw to first is going to retire Akihiro. It was Cheng who made the play. That's going to be a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's slated to bring Toya Inoue to the plate. We'll see if it is. And it is going to be Inoue, who is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a home run, a fly out, and a ground out. So he's 1 for 3. He's got a couple RBIs as he strides to the plate here for the 4th time this evening. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. I have to say that Chin Yu, who has come into the ballgame here, he has been absolutely brilliant. Filling up the zone with strikes. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Right-hander against the right-hander. You ready to go? Kicks and fires. Oh, he took a little bit of something off it, and Inoue swung and screwed himself right into the ground. That's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Inoue. That was a pretty tight breaking ball. As the 1-2 just misses, and the count now goes to 2-2. Right-hander, you ready to go again? As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on cue at the end of the bat, and he's going to find, ball's got eyes, it gets into right field. He's got himself a base hit, a 2-out single for Inoue. He's going to bring Hikaru Kawase to the plate, so a pair of hits tonight for Inoue. Good piece of hitting, 2-strike approach, stayed inside the ball, kept his hands back, went the other way. So that puts runner at first here with 2 gone, brings Kawase to the plate. Kawase came on as a pinch hitter for Kenta Imamiya back in the 6th inning. He had a single his only trip. First pitch fastball misses outside, and it's ball 1. Concerned about the runner taking off there. Kawase waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, who kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Kawase batting from the left side against the right-hander, and they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Inoue, and now he's asked for some time. Right-hander against the left-hander, working to the set is He fires. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Right-hander ready to go again. He fires over to first base, and again diving back in time as Inoue kept the tag on him, but unable to induce him to come off the bag. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander getting his sign. He works himself into the set position. Here we go again. Pitch on the way. Fastball. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is into center field. And they are not going to advance, as it is going to be a stolen base here for Inoue. He was itching to run over there. They were worried about him. They were set up on the outside part of the plate. You don't see a lot of pitch outs much in baseball anymore. We're talking about some of the catching work earlier on, and that's one of the things that you don't really see a whole lot of. But that's as close as you're going to get it. It would be the catcher who is set up on the outside part of the plate, trying to give himself as much clearance as possible, stay away from the hitter and get a good throw down to second, but unable to come up with it. The pitch, by the way, was a strike. It's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kawase. As the right-hander Yu holds to the set, now fires. It's a fastball down. Good stop there by the catcher. Squirts away. I do believe. I know Cow's night is done. I don't know if that's Chen in behind the plate or not. He would come into pinch hit if he stayed in the game. Do a double take on that one, but possibly might have been an option for them. And there is a fastball that is fouled away in the count, or check that. Yeah, Fastball fouled away. Count is 3-2 now to Kawase. Yeah, it looks like it is Tong En Chen who is back behind the dish, as he had come on to pinch hit for Yu Che Kao. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Neatly fielded, as that is going to be Chang who gets it. He throws to first, and Kawase is done. It's a ground out 4-3, and that will do it here for the Hawks in their half inning number 8. The game is really settled down after those crazy 4th and 5th innings. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Hawks 7 and the Brothers 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel right after this musical timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the 8th inning is upon us. As it's supposed to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Chinatrust Brothers. We're going to see if Ogata is still in or if his night is over. Just watching to see if they are making any changes. Here are the Hawks. Ogata had come in and had pitched to the 7 batters he faced. He had struck out 5 and walked 1. Just going to get a confirmation if it is still him or if they have decided to go to the bullpen here tonight. I'm curious to see tomorrow what kind of crowd they're going to have. If the national team is playing, one would have to think they're probably going to get a good draw to face the Hawks, as it will be the Hawks and the Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team. It is still Ogata, and he's facing Ting Lun Su at the plate. So we have a new hitter here. And the first pitch was a breaking ball that he checked his swing on, called a strike, and then there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. So we'll get it back out for another one. So Ting Lun Su here to bat. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 1-2. So Ogata, very workman-like, is coming in the ball game for his 3rd inning of work. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the line in left field, but it's going to hook into the seats, foul. And the count remains at 1-2 strikes to Su. Right-hander ready to go again as he gets the sign from his catcher. As we said, it looks like that Tanagawara, his night might be done. Breaking ball that just misses low. Oh, that was a good pitch. Did not induce the swing and didn't get the right hand of the home plate umpire to go up. So 2-2 strikes it is here to Su. Pitch on the way. Fastball. He rears back and blows it by the pinch hitter, and that is going to do it for Su. He's gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. So strikeout number 6 recorded here for the right-hander Ogata, and that is going to bring up the first baseman in Chi-Hung Su. We'll keep our eyes peeled to see if Su is coming to bat after Ting Lun Su went down. We do have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Cheng Shun Wang. So Shun Wang takes the first pitch for a called strike. The count is 0-1. And then there's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and quickly ahead in the count for Ogata. It's 0-2. So wasting no time with the pinch hitters here. Definitely overmatched in this situation. He's just playing catch with his catcher. And the 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball, he took something off it, and he retires Wong on 3 straight pitches. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. 7 strikeouts now recorded by Ogata. Breaking ball, but it was not as firm as some of the other ones that he threw. He took something off and had the hitter way out in front. Want to go and invest in another bat. He had a purple bat in his hand. Not quite the workings, and that's going to bring up to the plate Wita Sooth. So they have officially emptied the bench of the Chinatrust Brothers. Fastball misses inside for ball 1. So Wita Sooth at the plate with his first at bat of the evening. Another left-handed stick by the Brothers. There's a fastball that comes under the hands for a called strike. Count goes even to 1-1. I wonder if we'll see something similar tomorrow night from in the exhibition game. Pitch on the way. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Will they continue to empty the bench, or are they going to operate it that way? Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. A nice inside-out swing, but able to fight it off is Sue, and that's going to run the count to 1-2 still. One thing that's for sure is the cheerleaders are still in good form. There's a slow breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go. He gets the sign. He rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on, hammered over to first base. Oh, and it looks like he caught it. Nice job over there by the first baseman, Masaki, and he is going to step on the base just for good measure, but I believe it was a line out on the catch. We'll get a look at the replay on that one. Regardless, it's an out to 3, and that is going to do it here in the 8th inning. Well, they go in order, do the Chinatrust Brothers. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Top of the 9th is upon us. It is a 7-3 lead for Fukuoka over the Brothers. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical time out. Stick around, guys. We'll be back in a bit. Scoreline is 7-3 for the Hawks. We're moving to the top of the 9th inning. Stick around, everybody. It is the Hawks and the Brothers from the Taipei Dome in Taipei City. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the inning, number 9, as the Hawks are enjoying a 7-3 lead. Let's see if the Chinatrust Brothers are going to their bullpen again, and the answer to that is yes. This will be by our counts, the 8th pitcher used tonight. This is going to be Hu Chen on the mound. And the first pitch that he delivers is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. It is Riku Watanabe who is hitting in this spot. So Watanabe hitting in the spot where Tanagawara once occupied. There's a ground ball hit to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Cheng, who throws to first. That's going to retire Watanabe on a ground out, 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away. And we have it's going to bring Ryuta Hirose to the plate. Hirose started the game at first base. He's been moved around a little bit here. There's going to be a pinch hitter. Looks like it's Kaida Yamamoto coming in to pinch hit. So Kaida Yamamoto on, and the first pitch he takes is for a called strike. Yamamoto batting from the left side. He's got an open stance here against the right-handed throwing Chen, and the pitch is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So a ball and a strike. Big right-hander on the mound, delivers fastball swung on and grounded foul down the first base line. Count goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up behind home plate, but it's going to reach the seats as it is out of play, and that keeps the count at 1-2 to Yamamoto. They are having discussions with the reliever Chen Yu, who was in the 7th and 8th innings. He pitched really well. Talking to him in the dugout, probably give him some information as the reliever Hu Chen on the mound here. There's been brilliance here delivered by the Chinatrust Brothers. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-2. The right-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. On its way, fastball swung on, chopped over to first. Fielded neatly, and stepping on the bag is the first baseman. That is Wong. And that will retire Yamamoto on a ground out to 3 for out number 2. And it's going to bring up the top of the batting order right now. It's supposed to bring up Sami Nomura, but it's going to be Yudai Shoji. So Yudai Shoji coming in to pinch hit. This will be his first at bat of the evening. He came in defensively at shortstop. So Yudai Shoji. And the pitch on the way to him is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. I was talking earlier about the lack of crowd support. Breaking ball that just misses outside. The count is 1-1. I would have figured that we would have had a better crowd for this one tonight, but not quite the case. Here's the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball at the knees. Taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2. But I do believe that tomorrow for the national team, we are going to see a full house in attendance, and why not? Pitch on the way. Breaking ball down. It squirts away from the catcher. As Chen is going to have to run it down. It goes to 2-2 on Shoji. Top of the 9th inning, 2 gone here. Hawks enjoying a 7-3 lead. As the right-hander ready to go again. Holds to the set. Now he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on it. Is going to be lined over the head of the shortstop down into left center field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Shoji aboard with a 2-out single. And that is going to be slated to bring up Yoshiyasu Sasagawa. Well, for Sasagawa, he was the one who came on as the pinch runner back in the 5th inning for Tatsuri Yanagamachi. He ended up getting thrown out at third base on a piece of poor base running. He grounded out his last time up. So officially 0 for 1. Right-hander Chen works to the set. And here comes the pitch on its way. It's a fastball swung on. It's popped up, foul. That's going to reach the seats. So no balls and 1 strike. When this game is done, we're not going to give you the full recap and roundup like we normally do for around the NPB. All the games went off a little bit earlier. I think there was only 1 game tonight that made it. 1 game was washed out. And then this game, of course, here, there's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes to Sasagawa. I think I'd come back with some sort of changeup here. Get him out in front if you possibly could. Let's see what Chen has in mind. Here's the pitch. And it's down in the dirt, swung on and missed. They're going to have to throw down to first. It's going to go a strikeout 2-3 to end the inning as Sasagawa is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that'll do it here in the 9th inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your score is the Hawks with a 7-3 lead over the Brothers. We'll be back in just a couple moments to bring this one home for you right after this timeout. 7-3 Hawks when we return in just a few. Well, it looks like we got ourselves a pitching change coming up here. We'll get that for you when we return in just a couple moments. Hawks looking to close it out here with a 7-3 lead in the bottom of the 9th. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a training player in the game. This is Luis Rodriguez, as he is making his appearance here. Looks like there's some other changes. His manager has come out to talk to the home plate umpire, so he is letting them know who is where and where is who. 4th pitcher used tonight by the Hawks. So Luis Rodriguez on in relief. And he is wearing the always popular number 156. That is what they give to the training players or the development guys. First pitch misses down and in. The count is 1-0. We were talking about this the other night. And in Latin America, there are triple-digit players issued to players in soccer. Fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 1-1. And where that it comes into places that it's if you're at a youth academy team, you get one. If you're a second team player or whatever it is, you get a different one, or a third team player, a training player. So depending upon what number you get, it could be in the hundreds or 200s or 300s. Also tell what level that you're at. As that breaking ball had missed down, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a fastball that misses down. It's now 3-1. So if you're Luis Rodriguez, you're not off to a good start here. 3 balls and 1 strike. He's a big fella. When he first got on the mound, I thought it was like he looks like a right-handed throwing Darwinzon Hernandez. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. And the count is now full to Seng. Darwinzon Hernandez, of course, the left-handed reliever for the Fukuoka Ball Club. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. And that is going to put Seng aboard here with a leadoff walk, and that'll bring up Shilin Cheng to the plate. And so the pitcher has signaled to his shortstop that they want potential for a double play. They do have a pinch runner coming in the ball game now, as that is going to be the end of the line for Seng. That is going to be number 85. And that looks like it is Q Yuan Liu. That brings Shilun Chang to the plate. Chang come on defensively for Tung Hua Ye earlier in the game, and he check swings, fouls a pitch away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and a strike. Right-hander Rodriguez leans in, gets the sign as he works himself into the set position. Pitch on the way, fastball swung through and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Cheng. Chang waiting on the offering. 0-2 on the way. Fastball swung through and missed. Overpowered. He's down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up supposed to bring up Tung In Chen. That last pitch, fastball, had a lot of arm side run to it. Ran away from the hitter. So 1 gone. It's going to bring up Ju Chun Lin to the plate. So he is into pinch hit. And the first pitch delivered to Lin is swung on and fouled away. So he's getting an at-bat. A lot of at-bats to go around here in this one. So no balls and 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul. That one reaches the seats, and the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. The cheerleaders and the music goes right on when the team is up to bat right till the end in Taiwan. And so too is the action right now. They are still cheering on their team right to the bitter end. Here's the pitch on the way. It is fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to second. Fielded and a sidearm sling to first base by Kawase, and that is going to retire Chen on a ground out 4-3. He's out for the second out. Over to second is Seng. So they got a runner at second base with 2 gone, and it's going to bring up, or slated to bring up, the shortstop, Zhenwei Chang. But instead, it's going to bring up a pinch hitter in Xiang Ho Yang. And you might as well take your chances with Yang because Zhenwei Chang is 0 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch. Fastball down and away for ball one. Count is 1-0. Right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander delivers again. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the right-hander Rodriguez works to the set. Down to their final strike are the brothers. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. They're going to apply the tag, and that is going to do it as Yang is gone on strikes for the third out of the inning. And Rodriguez comes in and does the job to close it out. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. Your final score from the Taipei Dome is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 7 and the Chinatrust Brothers 3. Stick around, everybody. I'll come back and wrap this one up for you right after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Well, we want to thank everybody for stopping into the stream tonight, as it is a middle of the night piece for us, and 7-3 final for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. In this one, all the scoring for Fukuoka came in the 4th and the 5th innings. But the CT Brothers got the action going in the first inning as they scored, drew first blood. It was a 1-out double off the bat of Chi Ji-sung, and then he was later brought home on a single off the bat of Chen Su-chen. That gave the CT Brothers an early 1-0 lead. The pitching for the Brothers was pretty good through the first 3 innings, but the 4th inning, the wheels fell off the apple cart as the Hawks sent 9 hitters to the plate. A walk to Isami Nomura, then a walk to Tetsuro Yanagamachi, and Tomoya Masaki stepped up and smacked a 3-run homer to straightaway center to give the lead to the Hawks. After 1 out, it was a single by Hotake Yamakawa, and then up stepped Tomoya Inoue, and he deposited a 2-run homer into the seats, and it was 5-1 going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, the Hawks added 2 more in the top of the 5th. A leadoff walk to Nomura, and then it was a double off the bat of Yanagamachi, driving him home. That made the scoreline 6-1. After a fielder's choice bounced into by Yanagamachi, a single off the bat of Kurihara, up-stepped Yuto Akihiro, and he sacrificed flied home the 3rd run, and that, or a 2nd run of the inning, and that gave the scoreline 7-1 to the Hawks. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Brothers responded with 2 of their own, and it was courtesy of a pair of errors. A leadoff error as it was reached by error by the shortstop Nomura. Then it was a single off the bat of Kao. After Chang struck out, another error by the 3rd baseman Kurihara loaded the bases. And up stepped Sung, and he delivered a sacrifice fly to bring home the 2nd run of the game for the Brothers. And that was a base hit by Chan, and he singled home the 3rd run of the ballgame, 2nd of the inning for the Brothers in that one. And that was where your game ended. 7-3, your final score. Not much in the last few innings. After the 5th inning, it was pretty quiet after that. So the Fukuoka Ball Club, 7 runs in the ball game, and if our scoring is correct, we would have 10 hits, and they made no errors. On the flip side of the coin, for the Chinatrust Brothers tonight, they had 3 runs. They only had 5 hits, and they made 2 errors. And so once again, check that the Hawks made 2 errors, and the Chinatrust Brothers didn't make any. Again, your final score is 7-3. All right, everybody, tomorrow night it is going to be Hawks and Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team. Hopefully you guys can make it in for the stream, and maybe we'll see you again tomorrow night. Thanks for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.